So Jesus is obviously exaggerating when he says, if your right eye causes you to sin, then pluck it out. We already know that it's not your eye that causes you to sin, it's your heart that causes you to sin. Looking at a woman with your eye isn't sinful, but looking with lustful intent is. Same thing with your right hand. If it causes you to sin, Jesus says, cut it off. Your hand can't cause you to sin, only your heart can. So this is why we're calling it hyperbole. So I would say that what Jesus describes in verses 29 and 30 would be hyperbolic strategy and reasoning. I don't say hyperbolic a lot. Hyperbolic strategy and reasoning. Here's why I say that, all right? Let's look at verse 29. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. That's strategy. For it is better that you lose one of your members than that your whole body be thrown into hell. That's the reasoning. Now, many have described this then as the principle of radical amputation. It's not literal amputation, but radical amputation, which means doing anything necessary to keep your eye or to keep your hand from leading to lust. So what's he saying? He's saying take any action you have to take to keep from lust. Speaking in hyperbole then, if your right eye offends you, cut it out. Throw it from you. Maybe what you need to do is to have a filter as well as some accountability software or program or app on your computer and your phone and all of your devices. That would be radical amputation. Maybe you shouldn't have a smartphone. You say, oh, come on, you're getting funny now. How in the world could you live without a smartphone? Why in the world would you tell me to not own a smartphone? And I would tell you because you don't want to go to hell. That's why. That's what Jesus said. It's better to pluck your eye, to remove your hand, than your whole body to be thrown into Gehenna, into hell. That's what Jesus said. That's the reasoning Jesus uses. Now, I want to talk about this just for a moment. Our time is fleeting, but we need to talk about this just for a moment. We have all the New Testament to interpret this. And this is how I would make understanding of what Jesus is saying. This is a real warning. This warning is not to be taken lightly. Is there forgiveness for the sin of adultery? Is there forgiveness for sexual sin, even of the heart? Absolutely there is. That's why Jesus' teaching drives us to the cross. But my friend, I need to tell you this. If you are into, let's say, pornography, and if there is no desire to fight it, if you are doing nothing to fight it, if you are doing nothing to try to overcome that, if this idea of radical amputation is so completely offensive and outrageous to you, I would have to biblically reason and conclude the Spirit of God's not in you. And the reason it doesn't matter to you, the reason there's no fight in you, is because the Spirit of God is not in you. It's not that someone who is a Christian won't commit this sin or any other sin. But the heart of a Christian is the heart of the Apostle Paul, who says, the things I do, I don't want to do. Do you feel that way about it? That's the point to be made. And I just think we just live in a day in which just sort of the accumulated thinking of many evangelicals, many people who attend church like Emmanuel, is that I said the prayer, so leave me alone. But Jesus won't leave you alone. He is the hound of heaven who will continue to pursue you until in repentance you turn to Him and believe in Him in a way that trusts what He's done to forgive you of your sin and to give you new life. I pause on this a moment because this is a real warning that we need to hear today. Now, verse 30, why is it right hand? There's lots of different ideas on this. I think it's because it represents the power of life, how you get things done. It's really just talking about your business, your way of life, everything. So he's just saying, whatever it is in your life that's causing you to stumble, whatever it is, you've got to be willing to part with it. Now, what's the message? Number one, guard your eyes. Or better yet, like the ancient Job, who was the most righteous man of his day, make a covenant with your eyes. Job 31, verse 1, I've made a covenant with my eyes. How then could I gaze? That's that lustful intent at a virgin. The psalmist said, I will not set before my eyes anything that is worthless. It's not because of strength, by the way, brothers, because of weakness. We understand and confess our weakness. And so we don't look at things. We don't do things. We don't go places that will be especially hard to resist sin and temptation. We got the two classic negative examples in the Old Testament. Samson, Judges 14. He sees that beautiful woman of the Philistines. And the Bible tells us he sees, and then he says to his parents, go get her. They're like, can't you find an Israelite woman? Can't you find one of our own people? He says, she's right in my eyes. David, 2 Samuel chapter 11, saw her, sent for her, he sinned with her. Brother, do not look with lustful intent. Guard your eyes. Sisters, help your brothers. Dress modestly. Help your brothers. Men, guard your eyes. Number two, let's teach and practice healthy sexual relationships in marriage. The Song of Solomon is in the Bible. It describes an intimate relationship between a man and woman. And in our day, it's still the best book out there for this. Ed and Gloria Wheat's Intended for Pleasure. Husband and wife, if you don't have that book, you need to get that one. Number three, don't fall prey to the devil's sexual strategies. I just put out there on the table a message that I preached down at Emmanuel Christian Chapel years ago. And what's out there are just the notes that I used that day when I preached that message. I just put it out there. I thought that might be helpful for you. Maybe if you have teenagers, maybe you can take that and use that as you're teaching them, because we don't want to fall prey to the devil's sexual strategies. Number four, get help. Get help. If you're trapped in a besetting kind of sin, you continue to stumble, you say, I'm not going to do that again, and then you find yourself doing it again, get help. God has given many resources, many instruments of grace in your life, brother. And so get help. Number five, rest and rejoice in God's forgiving and life-changing grace. If there's any topic that's going to reveal to us our need for a Savior, our need for the cross, both for forgiveness as well as righteousness to live in victory, it's what Jesus is talking about today. Jesus died for all sin, even the sin of adultery. Jesus died for all sexual impurity. We can find forgiveness in Him, as well as righteousness to change and to live victoriously for His glory. So let's rest in and rejoice in God's forgiving, life-changing grace. Let's pray. Father, thank you for the time that we've had in your word today. Father, I just pray that your Spirit will bring conviction where it is needed, that this would wake those who slumber, and that, Father, this would also be an encouragement to all of us to know that the righteousness Jesus speaks of is a righteousness he provides. And for this we thank you in his precious name. Amen.